All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. We just saw the New York Mets wrap up a 9-game homestand that saw them go 5-4. The Mets were able to finish their homestand on a good note as this afternoon they secured a walk-off win over the Baltimore Orioles, who themselves appear to be postseason bound. But now, as the Mets are heading on the road for a 10-game road trip, it's one of those to me that has the potential to either make or break their postseason chances. I say this because the Mets are looking at 4 games at Petco Park against the San Diego Padres, then 3 with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and then finally 3 more with the Chicago White Sox. I say the make or break aspect because you look at the Diamondbacks and Padres, these two teams right now are playing the best baseball in the whole league. I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, the Diamondbacks simply can't lose. And I mean, the Padres were rolling until they lost at home tonight. But nonetheless, you look at the Mets, they've got to try to find a way to go out there and take care of their business against these two clubs because the way that the Padres and Diamondbacks are playing right now, they've separated themselves from the rest of the pack of teams that are chasing those wild card spots in the National League. And on top of that, they've closed the gap on the Los Angeles Dodgers for first place in the NL West because both of these teams right now are breathing down their necks. Now, we saw the Mets enter play today, 2.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves for the final wild card spot in the National League. That's now a game and a half due to the fact that the Braves lost tonight to the Philadelphia Phillies. But if you're the Mets, you want to try to go out there and come out of this road trip at least 6-4. Now, they finish up with the White Sox. They cannot, and I repeat, cannot look past the White Sox. You can't pay attention to their record right now. You got to go out there and take care of your business. But if you're the Mets, you want to try to go out there tomorrow night in San Diego and set the tone early. Okay, if the Mets could possibly go out there and get a split in San Diego, possibly take 2 out of 3 against Arizona, easier said than done. And then, of course, handle their business against the Chicago White Sox. It would definitely help their chances. Like I said, the Mets, can their bats be consistent? They have a lot of talent uh, in this lineup. I mean, we saw Francisco Alvarez get the walk-off for the Mets a couple of nights ago. Tonight, or this afternoon, rather, it was Jesse Winker. But you think about Pete Alonso coming down the stretch. You've got J.D. Martinez. You've got Francisco Lindor. You've got Mark Vientos. So there's a lot of talent in this lineup for the Mets. The pitching, is it going to be consistent enough for them on this trip? Luis Severino, who's fresh off of throwing a complete game, he's going to get the ball for the Mets tomorrow night in San Diego against Dylan Cease. This is crunch time for this team right now, and I say this because you're a game and a half behind the Braves. The Braves do have a lot of injuries that they are dealing with right now. The Braves are basically a mash unit, and if you're the Mets, you've got to try to go out there and take advantage of that. But easier said than done because the Mets' schedule right now is not an easy one. Like I said, 4 with San Diego, 3 with Arizona. They got 3 with the White Sox, and then they come back home for 3 with the Red Sox, and then they've got the Reds and Toronto Blue Jays, 2 teams that are out of it right now, or on the fence as far as being out of it. But nonetheless, once that calendar turns to September, you throw the records out of the window because guys are fighting for jobs. So you got to go out there and fight, scrap, and claw if you want to go out there and earn that postseason bid. So for the Mets right now, they've got to go out there. It's got to be all hands on deck. They got to try their best to click on all cylinders, not just the lineup, the starting pitching, the bullpen as well. Everybody involved has to go out there and answer the bell. Now, for Mets first-year manager Carlos Mendoza, I think he's done a solid job as far as pushing the right buttons for the bulk of this season. Remember how bad that the Mets started off, and now they find themselves right back in the mix for a postseason berth. So I look at the Mets like this. if they can try to find a way to start fast tomorrow night, I think it could set the tone for them not only for this series with the Padres, but this entire trip. Let's see if they can get some momentum for themselves or keep the momentum rather that they have after taking 2 out of 3 from Baltimore, a very good Baltimore team at home as they look to try to make their own postseason push in the National League. Like I said, if they can come out of this trip 6-4, if you're the Mets, you got to be happy. Anything to me, in my opinion, that's better than that, record wise, would definitely be icing on the cake. But like I said, two tough teams in the Padres and Diamondbacks. And then, like I said, you cannot, and I repeat, cannot just simply go out there and look past the White Sox. You just can't at this point of the season, can't just say, hey, we're going to go out there and lace them up and go out there and take care of our business and get a dub. It doesn't work like that. So, like I said, the Mets have some momentum. Let's see if they can keep it going because this is an important stretch as they look to be postseason bound themselves here in 2024. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.